what I'm going to show you is exactly how to automate podcasts using NA10 in one single click about any topic that you want to create content around. You can also change the voice, you can edit it, etc. Let me show you exactly how this works step by step. So essentially what we have here is a podcast automation, and you will get the template for free at the end. I've actually broken down how it works step by step in each phase, as you can see right here. And then if we look at the final delivery, right? So we've got the step-by-step process here with NA10. If we look at the final delivery over here, we have the downloadable file, right? And so what you can actually do is you can view or download this. So if I click on view here, we can actually play the podcast. Now, this is generated automatically with AI in one single click, and I'll give you the template for free inside the AI Money Lab. So if you go inside the AI Money Lab, link in the comment description, go to the classroom, scroll down, go down to free NA10 automation, and then you can get the JSON file right there. Boom shakalaka, all right? So the way that this works is essentially we're automating the text, the script, the automation of the actual narration, and narration is actually an AI as well. So if we click on play here, we could listen back to the podcast we've actually generated. All right, so it's basically created like a full podcast, as you can see. Really easy to do. You've got the episode ID. It takes all the information from an automatic RSS feed that we have and then generates this, right? So you can see how this works step by step. So the first stage here is you're going to plug in an RSS feed, right? Now, if you want to run this, all you have to do, pretty simple, is you just click on execute workflow over here, and that will start running the automation step by step, as you can see. And the way that this works is it's taking a Google News RSS feed. Now, you could use whatever you want, right? But this is an RSS feed that we've plugged in from Google News. So if we open this up, let me grab the HTTPS here. All right, so you can see this is an automatic RSS feed. And then down here, we have all the information that we want to feed into it, right? So you can take all the news from whatever RSS feed you want and then generate a podcast around it. You've got the details of the RSS over here, and it's pretty simple and easy to do. Now, from here, what you can see is that we are filtering and validating that step by step. So you can see here, it's actually taking all the events from the list of the RSS feed and then using that to generate different events right here. So it's breaking it down into like content, categories. It breaks down the description, the thumbnail, etc. Main thing it's going to be focused on is the actual content itself. And if there's an error along the way, you'll see this. From here, what you're going to see is the batch content scraper. And this basically scrapes the content from the RSS feed, right? So you can see here, it's taking all the information step by step. Now we're actually using Firecrawl to do this, right? So if we have a look at this API here, we've actually plugged in a post. Then we're using the URL, the Firecrawl URL over here. Credential type equals header auth and Firecrawl as the authentication. We're sending the headers, so the content type, JSON, and then we're sending the body. And this is just basically what this is doing, if you're not aware, is it's using the Firecrawl API that can access the internet to scrape all the information from Google News and the RSS feed. And then it's going to use that to generate the content step by step. You can see here, for example, we've got the details like that. This is really good actually for generating local news as well. And then you can take that information and plug it through. Now from here, it's going to validate that. So it's going to validate all the news, as you can see, using the JSON, and then it's going to break that down, as you can see. So this is a long list of JSON down here. And then you can see that's now generating the content like that. So just to recap here. So what it does is it will take your RSS feed, scrape all the content, aggregate it nicely, and then it's going to plug that into a script generator, right? Now we're using Chat GPT to generate this. You can use whatever you want, right? So you could use a free API if you wanted to save money or you're on a budget. And if you wanted to do that, basically over here, what you do is switch this to Open Router, right? So you delete that chat module, change it to Open Router, and then Open Router can use a free API to generate the script, okay? Once we've scraped the content, aggregated it into JSON, so it's going to find like a few good quality events locally. Then it's going to come up with the script writing, as you can see here. And if you don't like the outputs of the script, what you can actually do is you can edit that, right? So for example, here, we can take all this information and then we could, if we pull this up, this prompt, we can actually change this prompt and plug it into a totally different result, right? Pretty simple and easy. It's going to take that information like, so you can edit like the narration structure, the style, etc., the target audience. We pull this up full screen. So for example, you got the role and the goal, you got the podcast context, narration, style, principles for how to use it, etc., sound effects, everything you can imagine right there. Pretty cool. And then from here, it's going to just validate that the quality of the content is good before it starts publishing it. So you can see here, it's taking all that information, validating it with this script, and then we get the final script from there. Now, once it's validated the script, then it's going to synthesize this. It's going to send the script to 11 Labs API and generate an MP3 version of the script. So if we open this up, you can see that we're actually using 11 Labs with our API key. All right. Now, if you're not sure how to use 11 Labs, you can just go to 11labs.io and if you can log in here and then start getting the API key directly from your settings. So if you go to developers, go to API keys over there, you can grab an API key directly from 11 Labs. Sporter says, let's go. And then from here, we have the method. So we're using a post method with HTTPS. We're going to use this text to speech module from 11 Labs, generic credential type, header auth, 11 Lab key, right? So you just plug in your API key into the header auth. By the way, if you need help like implementing all this stuff or customizing it to you, etc., then make sure you join the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. This basically shows you step by step how to implement AI in your business, including lots of NA10 templates. And also we have weekly NA10 masterclasses, like you see right here, where you can jump on a call, ask us any questions you have. If you get stuck in between those classes, you can actually post inside the community, ask us any questions you have, and we're happy to help you. All right. So once you've done that, then you're going to specify the query parameters, right? So you can see the output format is MP3. Send the body, you use this JSON, as you can see. And then once you've done that, you're going to see this podcast generated. All right. Now you've actually got a breakdown of the quality metrics as well. So you've got the word count, the quality score, etc. over here. And then that's finally going to process it into a podcast episode right here. So you've got the string breakdown, podcast episode, all the details. You can download that if you want to. Now download it as an MP4. All right. So you got the file down here, ready and playable if you want it. And that's basically how you can edit and add a podcast. Now, if you really want to change the prompts, etc., then you can go to this section over here and you can just edit this however you want. So you could actually take all this. You could go to something like Chat GPT. And then from here, you could say, okay, customize this to my podcast about AI news. So you can edit it like that, right? And then from here, we can take the information. It has removed the markdown, which is annoying, but you can see how easy that is to do. And if we need to change that more, we can say, okay, pasteable into NA10. So you need to include markdown, hashtag to set. All right. And then once you've done that, we can take that back. We can go back to NA10 and you could try plugging that in and just tweaking it. If it doesn't work, you can always reverse it. But basically, you can test it using something like that. It says, well, insane, right up there with Jason and Michael Myers. And then Sporter says, I would like to make an automation for a 91-year-old woman that spreads a message of hope Could I use an automation or will it not be sincere? Honestly, like if you're making it for a 91-year-old woman, right, I'd probably just record it yourself. And sometimes you have to be a human. So yeah, I think that'd be a better one. Just do it yourself in that situation, have a personal touch. So let's execute the workflow and then we can run this step by step throughout. So now it's changing the script based on the new instructions we gave it. Then it's going to validate the script. Then it's going to generate this. All right, let's have a look what script it came up with. Yeah, so you got the text here. And then that'll loop back to the JSON module as well. So it'll just re-loop itself over and just do it again. Then we'll wait for that to load. It can take a few minutes just to generate the podcast right there, but that's okay. And this is, just want to give credit where credit's due here. This is inspired by a workflow from the Recap AI Automations on YouTube. Really good channel, definitely worth checking out. But they created an awesome workflow that shows you exactly how to do it. You can see this was similar and inspired by it, but obviously our workflows is different, but you can see how it works. So let's go back to NA10 now. We've generated that. Let's pull it up. Right, so that output is much better since we tweaked the prompts. It's much more relevant, etc. So it's really good. I love the way that it's just so easy and simple to set up. You can tweak and change the prompts. You can edit it how you want to. You can extend the word count and everything else as well if you want to, depending on how you want to do it. Cut the check says, looks complicated. Is there a way to use this for daily fantasy sports? Yeah, so it always looks complicated. If you need like help or support, because I know this stuff can be intimidating, then just join the AI Profit Boardroom because you can connect with me personally. It's the only place I really connect with people. And I've created this community here just to help people more, right? So if you get stuck or if you need technical support, if you don't know where to put the APIs or you want to jump on a call with someone who can actually walk you through it, like you can inside the calendar here, then join the AI Profit Boardroom, right? So it does feel complicated. If you want to learn NA10 from scratch as well, inside the AI Profit Boardroom here, we have a full step-by-step 6-week masterclass that literally guides you from having zero knowledge to being able to build your first AI automation on NA10 within 5 minutes, right? So yeah, if you're struggling, just let us know and join that profit. But essentially, if you wanted to change this about something like sports, for example, then all you would do is you go over here and change the JSON, right? So in the generate RSS URL, you're going to go over here. You're going to take this, and with the RSS, you would change this to daily sports news, right? So let's change that over here. Daily sports news, boom shakalaka, we're good to go. And you can just grab the daily sports news right here. The other thing that you could do is you could go back to NA10 over here, and inside the instructions that we were looking at a second ago, which are this section, right? So you got the expression with all the details, etc. So you can grab all of this, copy it, go over to Chat GPT and say, now change this to a podcast about fantasy sports, right? I'm just going to say, make the word count 1,000 plus words. And then you just want to make sure you use the JSON plus mark it up in Markdown. Right. And then what you can do is just change the prompt so that it's customized to whatever you want. Right. So you see how this is changing it now. It says you're an expert podcast scriptwriter for a fantasy sports podcast called blah, blah, blah. Then you're going to take all that information and use that to generate your output. All right. So then what you would do from there is once you've got all this information, you're going to go back over to 10, paste that in, run the automation again, and that's how you can customize it to whatever you want, right? Now, if we scroll up here as well, you can see how it's broken it down for sports, right? So it's like raw news information, include injury reports, matchup previews, expert columns, etc. So it's really personalized it to the fantasy sports factor. And yeah, it's really well. Now, if we go back over here, if we escape this, get off that, we'll go to evaluations. Actually, no, sorry, we'll go to executions, right? And you can actually see all the different executions here. So if you want to like restore previous outputs you've done, then you can just click copy to editor. All right, so if we have this output, so we can click on copy to editor, unpin everything, open that up, and that'll give us the old podcast we generated, right? So if you want to listen to previous ones. And then also what you can do over here is if we go to, let's have a look here. Yeah, if we go to the 11 Labs module, so you can see that we've got an ID for this. So you can actually change the voice that you generate the output in as well. So if you want to change your voice and use a different voice on 11 Labs, you can. The other cool thing with 11 Labs is that you can actually clone your voice and then you can change this to something else, right? So what I mean by this, for example, is if you go to voices over here, then we go to, let's have a look here. Maybe let's have a look at my voices. You can take one of these other different voices over here. You can actually explore. The other cool thing that you can do is you can have your own voice, right? So if you go to my voices, create or clone a voice, you can clone your own voice and then have that narrating the podcast. Some people say, oh, you can do this inside Notebook LM, etc. But the problem with Notebook LM is that you can't customize the voices. It's the same as everyone else's. So it falls into that bracket of, I've heard this voice before on a million different podcasts because people are just smashing out as AI slop on the internet, right? Whereas, for example, if you use the process I'm showing you, then you can actually have a cloned voice, your own voice, creating the podcast. You can generate much better outputs, and it's super easy to do. And then we've got that all ready to go over here. So let's just break down this process step by step, and I'll walk you through just to recap how it works, right? So the AI podcast generator, essentially what you could do here is you've got phase one, input and feed transformation, right? So here you're going to take the URL from the RSS feed and use that to program the rest of the podcast. And that's going to be the content, right? If you want to change it, you just go to Google News, find a different URL about whatever you want to talk about, and then you're good to go from there. Okay? Now, once you've done that, then you're going to do the content scraping. So basically that's going to validate the events. It's going to scrape through all the events using the fire crawl URL. And that's going to use it to process all the events. It's going to aggregate that into a way that the AI can understand it so that at phase 4, we can generate the script. And again, you can use OpenRouter or a free API for this. Once you've done that, it's going to validate the script. So it actually checks it for quality at phase 5. Then it's going to synthesize that into an audio version using 11 Labs. And finally, you've got the final output at the end that's downloadable and hostable anywhere you are, right? Which is this bit right here. So if we click on view, we can just open that up. We've got the podcast episode details over here. Boom, shakalaka, we're ready to go. All right. So really simple and easy. Alex Sharp says, I missed a lot of it. Is there a way to review this? So you can watch back the live streams on my YouTube channel. Otherwise, what we actually do is we edit this version down and we republish it as a sort of much quicker, smoother video later on our main video. So if you want to watch this back, just watch it back here. If you want to see a smoother version of it, then we'll post it on our video section, which is edited down and that sort of thing. And if you want to get the JSON file that you can just import, go to the AI Money Lab, go inside the classroom here, scroll down, NA10 templates, boom. We've also got a bunch of other NA10 templates too. You see we've got a Nano Banana image generator. We've got a cold email agent. We also have 1,000 NA10 templates, NA10 Slack, bot, and also an outbound calls agent, right? And all the JSON files are just attached to the bottom there so you can import them into NA10. So pretty amazing what you can do. My mind is always blown when I'm testing this stuff out. Absolutely love it. It's quite easy to set them up, and then once you've done that, you're good to go. So if we go inside my NA10 right here, and we pull this up, you can see, for example, here we have a podcast generator, image to video generator, cold email template, etc. There's so much cool stuff that you can do inside NA10. And if you need help, like figuring out, okay, how can you actually implement this for your business? How can you make money with this and get clients with it and scale your business and actually save time, right? Well, then join the AI Profit Boardroom. Inside the AI Profit Boardroom, we have an awesome community where you can ask any questions here. We also have the classroom with all of my best courses, as you can see. On top of that, we have the calendar with daily live calls. So we have 5 calls a week. And if you can't join the live call, you can watch them back inside the recordings, which are down here. All right. Coaching calls and Q&A call recordings. And then also you get so much more, right? So that's just a little taster. You can see, for example, you get plug and play AI workflows, daily Q&As with me, unlimited tech support, 5 weekly coaching calls. We also do giveaways each month as well. And we have a double guarantee, right? So you get a 7-day, no questions asked refund guarantee. If you want to sign up, check it out. If it's not for you, no problem. Just DM me. We can get you a refund. And then we have a 30-day ROI guarantee too. On top of that, the other thing I was going to say is that we do a daily Q&A each day where I basically run through the community and answer any questions that people have, right? But for example, here, James was asking, like, well, how do I find a video or article? We actually got all of the links to all of these different things right here. So I actually just link directly inside here to all the stuff he was asking for, and I answer it personally. Let's have a look here. So Alex is asking about how to generate ads like this. This is quite easy to do. So what you can actually do is you can go over to HeyGen. They have an avatar version where you can generate the outputs. Or what you can do is you can actually generate outputs with Veo 3 as well that can generate UGC ads as well. We're currently working on an N810 automation that can do that. Market research. So if you want to find market research, basically what you can do over here is you can go inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And then if you go inside the classroom and you type in, actually we'll go to N810 templates over here. So we have 2 different options. You can extract trends with this automation right here. And again, you can just import the blueprint into N810. Or what you can do is you can go over to this Firecrawl bot and that will research Reddit for you with the basic trends as well. So those are 2 different options to do it, and pretty simple and easy. Martier says, which AI video tool, a video generated from an old picture, preferably showing an item. The person is in the AI video talks and it's based on the script. So what you can do with this is you can actually use something like, what shall we say here? I think you could do HeyGen for this. So if you go to HeyGen, we'll just log in here. So inside HeyGen here, you can actually upload a picture, right? So if we go to avatars, let's go, actually go to home, go to photo to video, plug in your photo over here, type in your script, generate the video, and then you can generate the video however you want, right? Using that process. So basically, this is how you can do it. But you would basically take a screenshot of the video and you would use images to generate it. That's basically the way that it would work. The other thing that you could do is you could just train a new avatar inside HeyGen. So if you go to avatars, create new, upload the video that you have, and then you can create a new avatar that way as well. So those are 2 different ways to do it. And if you want to add an item to the image, so what you can do is before you even plug this into HeyGen, you can go into Gemini. You can say, okay, let's just say we're going to generate a picture of a monkey, something like that. Let's say before you generate the video, you want to turn this monkey holding a pillow or a milkshake, right? We'll put monkey with a milkshake here. Give the monkey a milkshake, right? So before you plug this into HeyGen, I'm going to say edit the image. So the monkey is holding a milkshake. It's good for you to see how I troubleshoot here as well. So for example, banana was not working a second ago. All you do, you start a new chat, you upload the image again, you give it the prompt of how you want to edit it, and then boom, you've got a monkey holding a banana based on the original image, right? You see how it's changed the image so it's got its hands around the banana, etc. Right? So then once you've done that, you can download this. So you've got those 2. Again, you would take a screenshot from the video, edit it with Nano Banana to add the image, and then you're going to plug this into HeyGen. So if we go home, photo to video, upload that image we just generated. And then for the voice, you can select whichever voice you want, right? So if you go in the HeyGen library, you can select whichever one you want. If you want them to be English, then you can click on English over here. If you want to change the accent, you got a bunch of accents over here. So let's say, for example, you wanted a UK accent, you can plug that in, and then you can just generate the script, right? So if we gave it a script, so I like eating bananas, generate the video, there you go. That's how you can do it step by step. So that's basically it in terms of the latest questions from the AI Profit Boardroom. I've shown you how to use the podcast AI agent, how to upload the JSON file directly inside here. Again, if you want me to record a video for you, just like I'm doing right here, join the AI Profit Boardroom, ask any questions you have, be happy to help you. And if you haven't got the automation already, join the AI Money Lab. We drop daily trainings inside here, and this is completely free. You also get all of these trainings inside the classroom, and you get all the NA10 templates as well. Now, if you need help with this stuff, then join the AI Profit Boardroom. Inside there, you can connect with me personally, ask any questions you have, jump on the calls, jump inside the community. We can all learn and grow together as we build this community up. And then finally, if you want to just hire us to implement all of this stuff for you, feel free to book in an AI automation session. We're basically on that call. We're going to use the AI time machine process, which is basically where we audit your time. We figure out what you need to build, and then we're just going to go off and build it for you once you become a client. So really easy and simple process. Feel free to book that in, and I will see you on the next one, people. All right. Cheers. Bye-bye.